Hey everybody, Janae Spry here, growth strategist and productivity expert. And in this video, this is part 2 of our interview with Adam Weiler, who is an Amazon expert. I'm going to play his introduction of himself here in just a second. But this is a really interesting video, especially because toward the end, I do ask him what he would have done differently. And he really shares some really valuable advice. So definitely stick around until the end of the video. And if you have any questions for Adam, just post them right below and he will be able to see that. He is tagged in the video, and don't forget to like or love the video. Thanks, guys.
Hey, I'm Adam Weiler, founder of Sunken Stone. We are a full-service Amazon agency.
Was there an exact point at which you were like, we talked about, hiring employees, but you were like, okay, I need to build the systems, I need to build the processes in place in order to build a team and actually scale this to see how big it can get?
No, the way I did it was I would hire for the thing that I hated the most out of the tasks I was doing, and just try to replicate me, but with other people.
Got it. So you would be like, man, I really hate, I don't know,
Customer
bookkeeping
service.
or whatever.
Customer service.
Customer service.
Because it took the most time, and I couldn't move the needle a ton on it, and I didn't enjoy it.
Okay. So instead of saying the most effective way to grow would be to build these positions out, you were like, man, I hate this task. Can I get someone to do it for me?
Most effective probably would have been finding someone who's doing product sourcing. That was just better than me. That would have been the most effective. But I was going for pain relief, pressure relief.
Got it. So if you could do it over again, would you have done it differently?
If I was do it over again, I would start with some partners with different skill sets of mine and well capitalized. That's what I would do. So I would I'd be able to hire that core team off the bat. I wouldn't do it without doing the core team off the bat. It's like the bootstrap, do 27 things at once and have no time to do revenue generating things. That's cool until you get to a certain point, but then I was hamstrung for growth. I couldn't move fast because of that.
Got it. Wow, that's really interesting. So I just want to ask another question about when you mentioned partners, because I think that as an entrepreneur, the number one thing you always wish is that you could just have another you. Hey, it'd be great if I have 5 Adams running around. But would you say that what's actually more valuable is to find people with actually different skill sets and allow it to just be the one Adam?
And I've got data on this. Well, not data. I've got anecdotal data, because for the business that was the Bluetooth speakers, I had another me. I had my partner Ian on there, and we've got very similar skill sets. We're both good at sales. We're both good business generalists, marketing guys. He might be a little better at cold calling. I'm a little better at a little operationally better, but that Venn diagram is big overlap, and there would just be a time where oh, we have this thing we need to do. Neither of us are really good at it. Neither of us enjoy it. And it was a hamstring, versus now I know I'm not technical when it comes to a programming side. So any new business, I would make sure to fill that technical gap.
Got it. So it's probably also really important to know yourself really well and kind of truly what your skill set is and what you enjoy and don't enjoy and that type of thing.
Yeah. Good at, want to do, and enjoy. Yeah, those.
So it kind of sounds like you waited sort of as long as you possibly could before you hired someone. And again, you were going through pain relief. So obviously it was you were willing to go to a certain point before you were like, crap, I really cannot do this anymore. I need to hire someone. So how did you kind of talk yourself into that and let go of the reins? And kind of how would you suggest someone else, because your advice was sort of don't go that route. Don't go for the pain relief route. Go for the I need to hire a smart person who can help in this specific area route.
Not necessarily. I think pain relief can be a viable strategy.
Yeah, it definitely was good for me when I hired out a bookkeeper and I was like, man, I should have done this like so long ago.
Yes, right? Oh my God, reconciling. Um, I would say, how did I give up control? Good, you know, I still fight with that to this day. I think getting people that you can trust who are good, and then setting up metrics where you know if they're producing, where you don't care how they get there, but here's the goal. And if you need to go like this, where normally I was going like that, like you start to realize like once they're hitting that goal, like it doesn't matter. Um, that was really cool. I think defining that goal and figuring out how to define that goal is the hard part. Like if you're not at a factory where you're saying I want 7 widgets a day. If you're at customer service, like I want 22 answered emails a day, like, well, what happens when we get more or when we get less or fixing? So defining those is really the hardest part of an organization.
Do you remember what your definition was back then when you hired that customer service? Like when you finally did actually manage to define it, do you remember what that metric was?
I think it's response time under 24 hours because that's what Amazon institutes. So we were limited on that.
Got it. Okay. Um, and then again, you waited as long as possible, right, for the office space. When you got the office space, did you have just one employee, two employees? Like,
I
because
don't
now
remember.
you have a team.
So like everything, I kind of combined it. So what happened was we got a couple employees. We hired, so this was for the Bluetooth speaker solar charger side. And I was also doing my own products and kind of combining them and overlapping, having employees overlap. It wasn't clean. If there's cash there, if there's time there, then like I would keep it clean. But in the beginning, it's just like everyone's wearing multiple hats.
Right.
Everyone's doing multiple things. And then eventually, if one succeeds, like they can get their own resources to support itself.
Okay. So how many times have you changed offices in terms of specifically only for growth purposes?
Um, 2 now. So, or I guess, so 3. So out of my house into the first office, and then out of this first office into the second office.
Awesome. Very cool. So I kind of want to wrap up and just ask you, based on your experience, we talked about several different pieces of advice that if you could go back and do it over again. So what do you wish you knew that would have made your journey easier? Just maybe like one or two, just like major things you were like, my journey would have been radically different if I
Like
had known this.
focus, 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 focus. um, so actually, hold on. Test, then focus. That's yes, the issue was I would have this thing that's like doing okay, like 5 things doing okay, 1 thing doing amazing. And instead of focusing just on that and going all in on that one with the timings bright, potentials there, and killing those others, saying no to like profits, saying no to those things that are doing okay, but you don't realize what you're giving up as far as time and focus on those. And then eventually that fades, and then these are all fading more. And if I would have just focused on that,
It's almost like it brings the ship down a little bit, right?
yeah.
Got
Right.
it. Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking time. I really,
Oh,
really appreciate it. This is good stuff. Definitely good advice for people watching to grow their business.
of
So
course. And you can email me, adam@sunkenstone.com. We do performance-based Amazon management. So if you're looking for Amazon tips or advice, feel free to reach out.
awesome. Thank you so much, Adam.
Okay, always good.
Watching, everybody. Hopefully you will join us next Tuesday. And don't forget to like or love this video to show Adam a little bit of love for coming and joining us this Tuesday. Thanks, guys. We'll see you.